Hey guys, it has been a ridiculous amount of time. Let's catch up. Number one, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I used to work at a bar. I no longer work at a bar, which is great. Two, I decided to go get my CNA. I don't talk about this very often, but I am an aspiring nurse. One day, hopefully, you guys will see this journey on my YouTube channel. I aspire to be a certified nurse midwife, which means I can deliver babies. I am a certified doula. I am almost a certified CNA. I just have to sit for my state board test and then we're done. Luckily, the place that I work hired me as a patient care assistant first with the plan of becoming a CNA. So now that I finished my class, I get to work as a CNA supervised until I sit for my board test. Yay! Super excited. So I'm actually making moves in my life to get to where I want. Next step is nursing school. I haven't talked a lot about this, but it has been a challenge. I'm a smart girl. I am dyslexic, but that's okay. But getting into nursing school has been really hard for me. I have been denied a few times and it did break my heart. I'm not a fan of rejection, like most people aren't. So I might try a different route. I might not, who knows? I'm thinking about possibly trying the LPN route first, or LVN, licensed vocational nurse or licensed practice nurse, and see if LPN to RN works best for me. I don't know. I do have a bachelor's in integrative healthcare. I do have a bachelor's in integrative healthcare, which allows me to also apply for fast track nursing programs or entry-level master's programs, but I don't know. Wherever God takes me is where I'm going. But just to let y'all know, I will keep you updated on that journey. If you guys want to see more content about that, let me know. I will track my nursing journey on here. That's why this channel is called Everything Deja. We don't just talk about books. We talk about my life. So that's where I've been. I won't lie, it's been kind of a up and down route for me lately, which is why I haven't really been on here. I've been going through a lot of growing, so to speak, and here I am. To be honest with you, if you would have asked 18-year-old Deja would she be a CNA, I would have said no. I thought I was just going to go straight into nursing school, and that's how my life was going to go. I didn't think I needed a CNA license. And boy, was I wrong. Boy, was I wrong. Honestly, this is some of the most gratifying work that I've ever done before. I used to do home health care as a PCA, which is a patient care assistant. So basically you take care of people, but not in certain elements, with people with dementia. And I loved that. So I thought, why not? Get my CNA license, allows me to work, allows me to have a schedule that allows me to work while applying to school. It will allow me to have a schedule while going to school, whichever route I choose. And I'm really excited about it. As you can see, I brought to you in my scrubs today. So that's a little bit about my life and where I've been and what's been going on. Now, have I been reading? Well, not as much as I should, to be honest. I won't lie to you guys. I have been a crappy reader. Well, at least July through October. If you follow me on socials, especially my Instagram, because you know all of us bookstagrammers keep the progress tracker per month, it doesn't look that good. It didn't look that good until recently, because I work overnight shifts. So I work 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. Tuesday through Thursday. And that allows me to, it's more of a quiet time. I put residents to bed. I take care of residents' call lights, but it leaves me a lot of time to be able to chart and get my work done, and then I get to read, which is super nice. So I actually started listening to audiobooks because of that. So while I was taking my CNA class, I had to commute to class and then I had to commute to work. It was about a 25 to 30 minute commute to class and then a 25 to 30 minute commute to work. So during that time, I was like, hey, I'm gonna start listening to audiobooks. And you know what? I'm a fan. I wasn't before. I was like, the voices, what about this? What about that? No, I actually really enjoy them. I've actually smashed a lot of books because of it. It just works with my schedule more and it allows me to read in a different aspect while still being busy, which was great because I read the entirety of the Miles High Club series by T.L. Swan, all on audiobook on Audible. This is not sponsored. Audible. So, I will dive more into detail about that a little bit later on. I just want to finish the chit chat with me. I did finally pick up some books. October was a much better month for me. September, I probably read one book. August, I read one book. July, I think I read one book. It's been rough. But then I finally started picking back up with the audiobooks, with having time to read on my Kindle, because you guys know I love to annotate. I'm an annotator. So if I have a paperback book, I don't want to just like skim through it really fast and like not absorb what I'm reading. You know me, I want to write in the margins, I want to highlight. So now that I have more time to do that, or I'm making more time to do that, I'm excited. Now with audiobooks, I can't do that, but because I'm a tactile person, I can imagine it. I know that sounds weird, but I normally am a hands-on, which is probably why I annotate my books. It gets me more into them. This allows me to be more like audio and visual, but it's imaginary, but I remember a lot of it because it's so intriguing. Also, I read Credence on Audible. Well, I audiobooked it. I think that still counts as reading, right? Somebody let me know what they think about that. So, oh my gosh. Y'all, I almost need to make a whole separate video about Credence. But I won't. I'm going to put it in this one. I'll tell you everything that I thought. I'm going to go drink some water, take off my scrubs, and I'll be back, okay? Okay, I'm back. Like normal, life never really works out the way I think it is, so I ended up falling asleep. So it's like the next 2 days. Who cares? We might just make this a week vlog thing. Okay, the books. So I know it has been a really, really long time since I've updated you on kind of what I was reading, where I've been at, but over the past couple of weeks, I started reading more audiobooks because I'm busy and it's hard. So the first kind of series that I dived into with my audiobooks was The Stopover. This is the only one I have an actual copy of because, well, I read the rest on audiobook and I bought this a really long time ago. Well, I don't know if you've read this, but this was my second favorite in the series. This is the first one. This follows Jameson and Emily. They meet on a stopover, which is basically, you know, you're flying on a plane and she ends up getting a first class ticket, sitting next to him. They get stuck. They end up having a one-night stand. Come to find out, the interview that she has is for his company. So she starts working at his company. And that's all I'm going to tell you because I don't want to ruin this book for you. I believe I gave this one a 5 out of 5. I really, really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. The groveling, the smut, the drama, Jameson's broody, billion-dollar boy attitude. Ooh. If you haven't, check this one out. T.L. Swan. You forever have a reader in me. So after The Stopover comes The Takeover, which is my favorite one. This one follows Tristan and Claire. All right, I have to like use my notebook because I will forget things. Tristan and Claire. Tristan is the acquisitions guy. He takes over companies for Miles Media. Well, Claire's company is falling apart. Her husband died and she has 3 boys. And her company is crumbling and she's trying to keep it together. Tristan comes in and is like, I'm gonna take it over, and she's like, I don't think so. So fast forward a little bit more, she ends up going to this convention that's kind of like, hey, all inspiring, yay. Her coworker sends her to it and she ends up running into Tristan. And this is where things get interesting because things start to get steamy. Now she's older than him, which normal age gap, the guy's older, so I'm gonna call this like a reverse age gap. I loved it. So they end up in Paris together after this convention, and it's spicy, it's raunchy, it's great, the steam is on point. But let me tell you what really made this book for me and kept me giggling while listening to it in my car. It was the boys. So Claire has 3 boys. And they are everything. They are absolutely everything. They keep this so dramatic and hilarious, and the things that they put Tristan through, because her oldest ends up working for him as like an intern. Oh, I don't want to ruin the book for anybody who hasn't read it, but promise me if you don't read any of these books, read Takeover, because it was on point and I fell in love with it. After the Takeover is the Casanova. This is where I won't lie, it got a little interesting for me because this one's based in London and I was used to my audiobook on narrators, and then all of a sudden we had English accents and I was like, huh? I was thrown for a loop. But I think I still gave this one like a 4 out of 5 stars. Oh, sorry, let me backtrack really fast. I gave the Takeover 5 out of 5. I loved the Takeover. I think I gave the Casanova 4 out of 5. I still really enjoyed the premise of it. Basically, who's this one about? This one's about Elliot and Kate. Kate? Is it Kate? Hold on. Yeah, it's Kate. Sorry, I told you, my brain will just be like, blah, 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 blah. So Kate is the tech girl for the London branch of the Miles Media. Elliot is boss man over there. She hates him. Like, this is an enemies to lovers. She hates this man so much. Fast forward some time, she ends up getting this roommate who's like a fashion guru, and she's frumpy. Her parents died. She lost her interest for life, sort of. She's just been going through the motions. She gets this fabulous fashion designing, fashion coordinating roommate that constantly needs clients to dress. Well, he uses her. So he's dressing her, and they go to this event, and they run into Elliot. And his mouth is like, where did you come from? On top of that, her other roommate, her best friend, convinced her to start playing netball. And this one scene I'm going to describe to you, basically, Elliot's over here stalking his camera and sees her in her netball uniform, like dancing, making copies. And this boy, all I can say is his eyes were glued to that screen and his hand was somewhere else. Anyway, keeps going. Her roommates convince her to get a like dating profile, but she doesn't take it seriously. So she makes this ridiculous dating profile, this crazy name like Pinky LaRue, and ends up messaging Elliot because he had a fake profile made for him from somebody else. And then it's hilarious. It just gets hilarious because they end up talking to each other as friends. But here's the thing. They end up connecting somehow in an office romance. Well, she's still messaging him and doesn't tell him who she is. I'm not going to ruin the surprises for you because there's a lot more drama to this, but this was an adorable enemies to lovers. Listen to the audiobook, read the book. I enjoyed it a lot. The last book in this series is going to be the Do-Over. I'm not gonna lie, this was probably my least favorite one, and it's just because Christopher and Hayden to me just weren't it. Christopher is just a douchebag and he stays a douchebag. I mean, he kind of has some redeeming qualities throughout it, but I didn't love him. And Hayden just is a pushover to me, and I don't know, I wasn't in love with it. I also don't think I was in love with the like idea of the book, because basically Christopher decides, hey, I'm rich, so I'm gonna go not be rich and go backpack across Europe. He runs into Hayden at the hostel. More stuff happens. This is how you know I didn't enjoy this one as much, because this was also the last audiobook in the series I listened to, so it's the most recent one in my head, but I can't remember everything. I think I gave this one a 3 out of 5 stars. It's got groveling elements, it's got growth elements, it's got mental health elements. It's a good book, but I just didn't love the characters. Nothing against T.L. Swan because her writing is still chef's kiss. I just didn't enjoy Christopher and Hayden. And that's my opinion. Moving on. What else did I listen to in audiobooks? Oh. As you can see, there's no tabs, so I listened to it in audiobook, mainly because I I really enjoy audiobooks, and like I said, sometimes I don't have time to read. Credence. You guys know I'm a Penn Doug fan. I'll always be a Penn Doug fan. Penelope Douglas, you will always have my wallet empty. I've heard so many conflicting thoughts about Credence. So many conflicting thoughts. I gave this book a 5 out of 5. This book is on point. It's so wrong, but so right. It's so deliciously wrong. So, the premise around Credence is Tiernan. Her parents commit a double suicide, so they die together. She's left alone. Her parents never really paid her that much attention in the first place. She gets a call from what I would say is her burner phone, saying that basically her guardian is going to be her step-uncle. And he doesn't force her to come. She can come if she wants to. He lives in this rural part of Colorado with his 2 sons. The steam in this book. It's just like as soon as she gets there, it's just tension. Now, these boys take her in and they teach her the ways of living in rural Colorado on a place that gets snowed in where you can't leave and no one can come up for like 3-4 months out of the year. Well, if there's nobody else around for 3-4 months out of the year. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. Listening to this on audiobook, I was blushing. I was blushing so much. I was in my car and I was laughing. I was blushing. I was making faces. I felt sorry for anybody who was like at the stoplight next to me while this book was playing, because I was like, oh, ooh, ooh, ah. 5 out of 5. But if you have read this book, then you know the scene in the truck. The scene in the truck. The scene in the truck. Ooh, with Jake. The scene in the truck with Jake. Yeah. I'm blushing again. I'm thinking about it. Okay, sorry. I'm just gonna read. If you haven't, I'm not spoiling this book for you. I'm just gonna tell you, make sure you read the triggers. And if you're more into the darker, taboo-ish, wrong that it's so right, then you need to read this, because I'm gonna read this last line. That this was the thing that made me want to read this book. It says, one of them has her, the other one wants her, but he's going to keep her. Y'all, that description had me like, oh, okay, I'm gonna read this book. Because it's sort of a reverse harem-ish thing, if you want to call it that, kind of. Also, the scene with the 2 brothers. Oh, I ain't got no words, y'all. I ain't got no words. Out of all of the guys, Jake is okay. Jake being her step-uncle was a little interesting, but like I said, I like the taboo reading, so I can deal with it. Caleb's my favorite. But if you followed me or follow me on my socials, you know I'm a sucker for the silent, brooding boy. And Caleb's mute. He doesn't talk to anybody. But over the book, she hears him giggle. She thinks. You watch their relationship develop. You watch his like claim to her, and y'all. Special archetype to Noah, because he's just so sweet. He's like the puppy dog, you know. He's the outgoing one. He's the one that does the motocross sports. Noah deserves the world. He deserves the world. Does he deserve Tiernan? I'm not telling you that. You're going to have to make that on your own decision. I'm Team Caleb. I'm not telling you how this book ends, because I'm not ruining it for anybody who hasn't read it. But whoo, hot tamales. Hot tamales. This book was hot tamales. Please, Be cautious, but read it. If you can do it, read it, listen to it. Because listening to it that was a whole new experience. That was a whole new experience. Oh my gosh. Okay, now time for a paperback book that I read that The Never King. It has tabs. It was a short, delicious little, how many pages does this have? 196? I ate this book up in like a night. It's a dark Peter Pan retelling, which follows Winnie, which is Wendy's great-granddaughter. Then we have Cass and Bash, which are twin fairies who've been exiled from the fairy kingdom. You have Vane, who's from a different island, but has a dark shadow. And then there's Peter Pan, who's lost his shadow. Y'all, of course my camera would just like cut off in the middle of me talking. So sorry. Okay. So Winnie's upbringing is dark. It's deliciously dark though. Basically, her mom got taken. All she keeps saying is, they're gonna come take you on your 18th birthday. They're gonna come take you on your 18th birthday. She just coughed it up as my mom's crazy. It is what it is. They did come take her on her 18th birthday. Pan came to get her. They've been taking the Darlings, as they call her, because her last name is Darling, forever. They took her mom, they took her grandma, they took her great-grandma. And man, Winnie's messed up. This is a dark romance. This is a dark reverse harem. She uses sex because it's a release to her. So what does she do when she gets to the island? Does exactly that. And y'all, if you follow me on TikTok, you saw me tell you why you need to read this book. And you know that I told you the dark and brooding characters are my favorite. So I'm a toss-up between Pan and Vane. But Vane is probably my favorite because it's always the dark ones who don't talk to you, who mistreat you, who come in and save you. I'm not going to spoil anything because literally I would tell you the whole synopsis of the book. All I'm going to tell you is this is a delicious dark retelling of Peter Pan. It's not your normal average. It's dark and it's different, and I loved it, so I know you're gonna love it. Okay, last book I have to tell you about. I read this on my Kindle, and it was a Halloween romance by one of my favorite authors, so shout out to Lee Juquo, because you keep writing things and I just can't stop devouring them. Like literally, I own only one of your books in paperback, and I feel like I'm going to treat myself this Christmas and buy all of them because I need them all on my shelf. I read Hollow's Grove, which introduced me to a category I didn't know that I was going to love this much. So, this book is going to follow Eve and Dorian. This is a brother's best friend, or no, best friend's brother. Yeah, other way around, best friend's brother. So her best friend, his brother, is Dorian, the main character. Now, the way it's set, it's Halloween. They're doing one of those Clue murder mystery parties, and her best friend is doing this for work because everybody at work hates each other. So she enlists Eve and Dorian to help her. Dorian has been scaring the ever-loving crap out of Eve the entire time he's known her. But there was this one moment in college where things got a little steamy, but it didn't go all the way. So they've had this tension brewing forever, and he wants her. He wants her bad, and she wants him, but she's not ready to admit it. But during this little Halloween fiasco Clue thing, they get paired up, and they have to go room to room together. And she's worried about him trying to scare her. He's worried about chasing her and convincing her to be his. And it's steamy. It's steamy. It's hot. It's ooh. And see, backtrack really fast. The part of that I didn't know that I was going to be so interested in is, we love the schminks. We love the schminks. I love to read about the schminks. But this one had a pleasure dome. Google that if you don't know what it is. I'm not about to explain it to you. I'm not getting flagged down on YouTube. But I I need more books about pleasure doms. I need more books. I need more books now. This was a 5 out of 5 for me. It's a short novella. Oh, read it. Read it. That wraps up all the books that I have been reading so far. I'm probably gonna go take a shower, meal prep a little bit, and then we'll see where else this video takes us. Like, I just wanted to catch up with you guys and promise that I'm gonna be more official with my posting. I'm gonna try to be more, what's the word I'm looking for? It's, this is how you know I haven't drank enough coffee today. That still didn't help. I really can't think of, y'all, I feel crazy. I want to say concrete, and it's not concrete. Consistent. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to be more consistent on here. I really do love this YouTube community, and you guys have been so sweet to me. I love you guys on TikTok. I love you guys on Instagram, but this is where you get to see me as a personality. And I promise the channel's called Everything Deja, so I just trying to be open and vlog. It's whether it's a lifestyle vlog, whether it's a book vlog, whether it's just me taking you on a journey with me. And I promise I want to do that more. So I'm gonna go do everything I said I did, and then I will bring you some more book content because I need my TBRs for, I've already started reading for November, but I want to kind of figure out what I'm gonna read for December. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, not all of it is gonna be Christmas, okay? Because I'm a mafia girl and a dark romance girl. They don't normally make those about Christmas. They make cute lovey-dovey stuff for Christmas, but I promise I'll sprinkle some Christmas stuff in there. But we're gonna talk about my TBR after I, get my life together.